The Culver's meal that I have created with all of the major food groups is 4-piece chicken tenders, a cranberry bacon blue salad, green beans as a side, and Tropicana pink lemonade, which totals 1,257 calories. The GI tract is the process that food is digested. As soon as food touches the tongue, the saliva automatically starts to grind down the food, which is called chemical digestion. This is because of amylase, which is a digestive enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates into sugar. The next step that happens in the GI tract is that the hard and soft plate grind down the food more so it can be digested better, which is mechanical digestion. Then the bolus creates a ball and forces the food into the pharynx. Then the food goes past the epiglottis, which is a flap of cartilage at the roof of the tongue which covers the opening to the windpipe while eating. Then the food goes down the esophagus that then leads to the stomach. Then, when the food is about to enter the stomach, it has to relax, which is called peristalsis. Then the sphincter muscles allow the food to enter the stomach. Inside the stomach are gastric pits that release mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive enzymes. Also happening in the stomach, pepsin, is turning the proteins into amino acids. Then, the digested food, which is now called chyme, starts going to the small intestines. The protein calories that were digested from the Culver's meal also start digesting in the stomach and end digesting in the small intestines. Lipids and fat calories are digested in the small intestines from the bile that is in it, which digests fat. The small intestines are 21 feet long and is split up into 3 sections. First comes the duodenum, which is 10 inches long, then the jejunum that is 8 feet long, and finally the ileum that is 13 feet long. Villi is the liner in the small intestines that project nutrients that enter the bloodstream. Once the food has been passed through the ileum, the chyme then goes to the colon, also known as the large intestines. The colon then absorbs the remaining water in the chyme, then turns into feces. Feces is the waste of food after it has been digested, what we call poop. The feces is then sent from the colon to the anus, where it will be where the solid waste leaves our body. The rest of the organs that help with digestion are not part of the GI tract, but very relevant to the process. The liver is the largest organ inside our body, and it has over 500 tasks. One being that the liver creates bile. Bile is a liquid that digests fat. We might also taste bile when we are about to vomit. Bile is then stored in the gallbladder. The gallbladder then releases the bile into the small intestines where it digests fat. The pancreas produces pancreatic fluid and hormones such as insulin. Insulin regulates the amount of glucose, also known as sugar, in our blood. The appendix was used when we were babies, and it helps us become more mature at our young age. BMR is the rate at which energy is used by an organism at complete rest. BMI is an index for assessing overweight and underweight. TDEE calculates the amount of calories your body needs to function in a day, and my TDEE is 1,091. From the 1,257 calories from my Culver's meal throughout the day, I need to do extra work so my body burns off all of those calories. This could be done by jumping rope, jumping jacks, or going for a run for 10 minutes each with breaks in between if needed. For a quick recap on what I talked about, the hard and soft plate grind down the food, which then becomes bolus that is forced down the pharynx that then goes past the epiglottis and then into the esophagus. Then in the stomach, the food starts digesting and then turns into chyme, when it enters the small intestines. Next, the chyme enters the colon or the large intestines. Then the colon starts changing the chyme into feces, which is poop. And finally, the feces then goes to the anus where it leaves the body. This is the digestive system.